Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It's all about dream events by Sonya. Oh my goodness. You have to check out this amazing event planning company. And the owner joins us today here live on the show to talk about and to show us all the beautiful work that she does. Because Dream Events is your premier Indian wedding planning service. I know based out of Chicago, but can help you anywhere. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. First and foremost, thank you for being here. And please introduce yourself to our listeners.
My name is Sonya. I am the co-founder, well, actually founder, lead
Mm-hmm.
planner, and everything else in between for Dream Events. I have just added a few other planners to grow the business so that we can be worldwide. We do weddings everywhere, but weddings is our kind of our specialty. We do mainly South Asian weddings, but we do all sorts of cultures as well, from Assyrian to Arabic to Greek to Italian, you name it, we do it all.
And this isn't your first career. This is amazing. This has like been your passion, right?
Yes, this is a passion that I've turned into a career.
Well, can I tell you, I think it's important for me to find out about you first. I want to get a little bit of your back history. Where are you from originally? And let's walk down your years, teenage years, child years, into how this all started. So, and tell me about the business that you've been in and then how this all occurred.
I am actually Assyrian,
Okay.
Middle Eastern of descent. Do some of those weddings. Culturally, I don't do too many of them. It's something about two cultures that are the same. I don't know. Either way, I do very few of those, but I
Okay.
would love to get into more with the right couple. I have this one client that will actually sell me on my behalf. She's like, listen, she doesn't do Assyrian weddings, but you want her sell the wedding and tell her whether she should do it or not because she just shouldn't sell herself. I love her for it. Her name's Kathy. Been doing it for years for me.
Shout out to
Um,
Kathy. Woohoo.
yeah, shout out to Kathy. She's been doing it for years for me. But I actually was a nurse before I switched careers. Did that for a while. I loved it, but I was getting burned out. Have four kids, and when my third one was born, I started dabbling into doing event plannings for like family members, things like that. And then when I had my son, my last one, as soon as he hit school, I'm like, you know what? Let me try this. If it works out, great. If not, so be it. And that was in about 2017. Well, I started in about 2011, but really officially in 2017. And it's just taken off since then.
God
It's been
bless.
something that I love. It's a passion. I just light up when I talk about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm still saving lives, but in a whole other level at this point.
Oh my
For
goodness.
but
Wait,
I
wait,
love doing what I do.
and okay, so hold on. How old are your kids now?
My eldest is 26 and my youngest is 14.
Oh, I don't know how that's possible. God bless. I have a 7 and 9-year-old. I started so late. You clearly started so young. Oh, I have two little
Way too
boys.
young. My eldest and I are actually best friends. I was 20 when I had her, and she made me a grandma.
Oh
Well,
my
wait, that's a
gosh.
word, horrible word. Nini is what I am called. Grandma
Congratulations.
just sounds horrible.
Well, I got goosebumps. That's beautiful. You have a great, beautiful family, a great career. And just, can I just ask you about your nursing career? So are you an RN, LPN, or what type
All
of
right,
nurse are you?
all
And
right.
just, and where do you where do you work? Do you work in an
I don't
office or
anymore.
totally done? Okay.
Totally done. Switched
Wow.
careers in 2017,
I
and
was going to say, well, then COVID came, thank God. I mean, I
I
hear
I
about the
did go back a
burnout.
little bit for
Did you
COVID.
help? Okay.
I did go back a little bit for COVID, but this is definitely my calling.
Great. Well, we're excited to have you here. And for those out there who want to go to the website, would you mind sharing how we can contact you?
Sure. On my website, www.dreameventsbysonya, Sonya.com, there's a contact us form. Just fill that out, and whether it's myself or one of my planners, we will be reaching out to you. We're pretty good. We're about 24-hour response time.
Wow. Now let's talk a little about, I know you have a deep understanding of Indian culture, right? And their
Yeah, it's so much
traditions.
fun.
So, and to me, this is unique. I mean, this got to be a great niche field you're in because, I know wedding planners. I've never spoken to someone who it does mostly Indian weddings. So this right then and there it says a lot. People are coming to you for this expertise with the tradition and innovation and all. Could you share a little bit about the Indian culture and about their traditions? I'm just curious to learn.
Oh man, there's a lot of them, depending on where you're from. Now, mind you, I had to learn all of this from scratch. I actually had a great family that I landed, God, right in 2017, 6 months into starting the business, they kind of set my foundation. And now I'm teaching my clients the different cultures, the different things on there. They are filled with love,
Ah,
fire. The music is amazing. The food is just
their
as
dresses
great.
and their, I don't know, their garments and the men and
Yes.
the
I
women are
don't know how
so.
they walk around in it all day long. Let me tell you, I've done it a very small handful of times and I cannot work and wear those at the same time. I'm like, listen, I need to be in my normal black dress. Let me be. I got to work as fast as I can. I will wear a colorful dress here and there for like their other events, but wedding and reception, I need to be in my black dress because I'm the background person, kind of yelling at everyone, let's go, let's do things. My three Indian words that I know will come out too because I need to usher them, which is cello, cello, and jadi cello. It means move fast and move faster. There, it works. They just look at me like, I thought you're not Daisy. I go, I'm not, but I know these words and this is what counts. Let's go. I gotta get you going. But the culture in itself, the food is amazing.
Ah,
It's not as spicy as everybody thinks it is. It really
good to
isn't.
know. Uh-huh.
Um, it's worth a try. The food in the music, oh my goodness, like you hear it and it doesn't matter whether you understand it or not. It just keeps you going. The culture is loving. They pretty much accept anybody in. They're just very family oriented.
Oh, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Now, as a wedding event planner, you get approached by, the future bride and groom, right? And let's go over the services that you offer. We're talking about every step of the way, right?
Yep, I offer three different packages from every step of the way to just me coming in the last 2 months and making
Okay.
sure that everything is downright and where it needs to go. So it really depends on the budget, what my client wants, and how involved they want me. Now, with all the packages that I have, whether I'm doing your full service or
Mm-hmm.
just a day of planning, which really is that 2 months before, because I'm too type A to come in like the week of the wedding and try to run it. It doesn't work
Got
that
it.
way with me. For it, I will give you unlimited talk, text. I don't have set hours. I don't do any of that stuff because my clients come first. I have woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning to speak with one of my clients because she
Wow.
was a resident and that's when she got off. And I'm like, come on, we need to get this done. I will wake up and I'll talk to you. Again, my customer service is my clients. I need to make sure that I'm there for them. And if I can alleviate any of the stress from them, I absolutely will.
Wow. Well, let me ask, someone out there says, why should I hire a wedding planner? What would you say?
For ease of mind, let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you, with every step of the way, even if you don't want to do us as a full service, but at
Yeah.
least for the day of, you want to enjoy your day, you want your family to enjoy your day, let
Yeah.
someone else that is not part of the bridal party or family run the show for you so that you could be a bride, a groom, a family member, a bridesmaids, or any of that stuff. Because there are a lot of moving parts, especially for Indian weddings, but in general there is a lot of moving parts. It's, if anything, just at least invest in that day of person.
Got it. Got it. Got it. And then also, how long in advance do you recommend someone hiring an event planner, a wedding
Oof,
planner for that day?
I'll tell you, the
At
good
least
ones
a
get
year?
booked a year in advance.
Okay.
I already have quite a few for 2025 and into early 2026 already on the books.
Oh my goodness. This is fascinating work. And we're talking everything from booking the venues. There's certain venues that I'm sure you have good connections with. And by the way, speaking of, you're located where specifically?
I'm in Chicago, but that doesn't mean I have to stay here. I have connections all over the United States and Europe.
Perfect. So you have the best venues to offer. You're
Yep,
giving
that
them
allow
everything.
outside catering for my Indian weddings because not everybody does.
Oh, that's good to know too. I didn't realize that. So we're talking invitations. You're talking, are you helping them with the photography, the florals,
All of
the
it.
everything?
Every single point that you can think of, I am wheeling and dealing on their behalf and making sure that they get it. Now I've built my business on referrals
Yeah.
only. So none of the vendors that I ever refer my clients to is there a commission fee that my client has to pay or that vendor has to pay. That's not the way it works. I'm charging you for my service.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm worth. Pay me for it because at the end of the day, when there's that commission, who pays for it anyway? It would be the client for it, and I don't do that. I'd rather save them the extra couple of $1,000s and wheel a deal on their behalf than to get it charged to them so that it can be paid to me. I don't like that. That's just shady to me.
I hear you. But hold on, I gotta just let you know there's some great testimonials that I was perusing on the website before. Let me see if I can pull them up. If you go to her website, Dream Events by Sonia, hold on. Where'd they go? I wanted to read some of them. Okay. Oh, you're very friendly, genuine, easy to work with. Wait, now they're disappearing. I guess that happens on the website. It goes to a different
If you
page.
go
Oh no,
to
no, no.
Google,
Yeah, the Google
it pulls
reviews.
from Google. So if
Well,
you go to Google,
if you
you'll
take,
find it.
well, why don't you share some of your best client experiences with me? What are they saying about you? Could you share a story or two about the
I'll bet.
amazing work? And you probably have
Let's
so
see.
many.
I just this past weekend,
Okay.
I had a client that I just said goodbye to yesterday because they went to Spain. But about 4 months ago, their
Oh,
planner quit on them and they were down and they were so upset. They didn't
wait,
have a clue
quit
what
on
to do.
them? Is this normal in the business? Quit?
No, it shouldn't be normal in the business,
Oh,
but it happens.
okay.
She quit on that, quit on the company, and I came in and not only did I pick up wherever the other planner left, I fixed a lot of the problems that were there that I found out just because it was an Indian wedding. There's a lot of moving parts that just were not done.
Yeah.
And picked up on it and took care of it. So yesterday when I said goodbye to them because they left for their honeymoon, they were like, "You pretty much gave us the best night of our life. It was amazing. And you picked us up when we were down at the worst part of us, and they were
Oh,
thrilled. A couple months ago, I had another client. Dad is very sick, but I managed to somehow get him to have enough strength to walk his daughter down the aisle.
my goodness.
And it was a
Beautiful.
complete surprise to the bride.
That is beautiful. Oh my goodness. My heart, you must have just melted. And I could imagine the tears in that room.
It was
Um,
just amazing to be able to see that and know that I could pull that off without anyone knowing, and making it happen.
Well, I got this one up too. This is from Rashni Shah. Listen up, South Asian brides. I have way too many amazing things to say about you. You're attentive, she follows what you need her to do. She's very detail oriented, literally will run around for her brides. She truly loves her job and is very good at it. My wedding and reception with Sonia was on time, which is uncalled for, especially it being a South Asian wedding. She keeps your vendors on track as well. Her timeline is detailed, easy to follow. She literally went and ran a few errands for me because I could not get to it, which honestly, no other coordinator will do that for you. She's super responsive. She will tell you the real facts. Something is not going to work out, she'll tell you and give you the reason why. Trust her process. I would recommend her and give her a 100 stars. Also, her team brings in the most sweetest and kindest individuals ever. They really are there from you. So that's just a recent one too. That speaks volumes. But everyone on here is talking about, and oh my God, the photos they're sharing about how you really truly care and we can count on you for so much, which is so important and amazing. So clearly you have an amazing rapport with all those in the community. And clearly, wow, there's another one. Knowing, oh my God, okay, this one says, hold on. I was so calm, relaxed, was able to be a bride, knowing that Sonia was in charge. And this is by someone else named Catherine. But that's the problem. I'm like nervous and anxious. I've never been married, but I could never think about planning something. The nervousness, like what you take out of somebody's, the stress out of their event, that is life changing, life saving. You make the event.
It's definitely something I don't take lightly, because I'm a complete stranger to these
Hmm.
brides. They don't know me, but to give me the opportunity to be a part of their big day and do what I need to do with them means everything to me.
Oh my goodness. What other, facets of wedding planning did you want to share? Did you want to kind of break down some of the packages you offer, talk more about the
Um,
events and
Price wise, I can't really do that because it depends on the client and what we're doing and how many days and things like that. But
got
I
it? Very
do go,
specific.
yeah, it's customized to each client that I do it for. So I really can't do that. But you get from full service where it's like, here's my budget, here's my vision, run with it. Make it happen. To I've got my brides where I still want to be a little bit in control, but I
Yeah.
want help with this. That's my partial planning. We break it down, what she needs help with. I'll take those, what she wants to do. I'll give her vendors, I'll give her guidance, I'll do that. And then there's the other brides that I can do all of it, but just come make sure that it all runs smoothly for it. So it really kind of depends on how well and how much my brides really want to be involved in this. Sometimes I have grooms that kind of do all of this and not my bride.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I've had a few weddings that I've dealt with my grooms more than I have with my brides. Just had an Orlando wedding with one of my vendors. Absolutely
Okay.
love him to death.
Ah,
Um, for it, but I was clearly his planner and my assistant was the bride's planner. Everybody knew that I was specifically for him, that I was brought on to do that. I mean, there were so many moments in the event that him and I were kind of dancing together that were caught on video that like some jokes. I think there was at one point, it was after the same day edit in the reception
okay.
and my bride was crying. So I called the makeup artist to do a quick touch up while just right there, just before first dance. And as she's doing a touch up, I'm standing behind them, kind of taking a look at, what's going on next and ready for the next big thing. And he just turns around. He had a napkin in his hand and he's like, Sonia. And I'm like, I got you. So I went in front of everybody and just started patting his face and wiping it down while she was getting touched up on there.
Ah,
They just knew that I was him for him, but genuinely had a great time. Now, don't get me wrong, I was definitely involved. The bride was involved too. We were, we talked, we were in group chats, but this particular one, I everyone knew I was the groom's planner, not the bride's planner.
oh my goodness. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. This is fascinating. Let's remind everyone how we can reach out to you, okay?
Yes, again, my website's the best way of doing it. My cell phone is on the website, so if you need to get a hold of me that way, there's ways on WhatsApp, but the website again, one more time, is www.dreameventsbysonia.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And clearly, I mean, you beam ear to ear. Is there anything like trend wise that you see happening in wedding planning that you're doing that people are, in the Indian community, especially? What,
Honestly, my weddings have been gotten a lot smaller
okay,
now. They
interesting.
used to be 400 or 500 people, and now we're about 250, 300. And the trend is most definitely that LED wall that they want to make into a club scene, basically. All of the millennials are getting married,
A
so they're,
club
going
scene.
back.
And what about hours? Are they day weddings, night weddings, late weddings? How many
No,
hours is a
they're
typical
well,
wedding?
South Asian weddings are 4 days and all day and all night and all sorts of stuff. So that doesn't, it's no big deal. You know what? There is a trend this year that they're just doing like the night before reception that they're doing and
Okay.
just the ceremony and lunch and not an actual reception.
Oh,
That has been quite often this year, actually.
oh my goodness. I love hearing this. Oh my goodness. Now, what else? What about the music? What type of music are we hearing? Live music? What type of music is played? And like, regular weddings that in America, we have DJs, we have bands. What
We have
type of,
both.
okay,
We have
caters
both.
to, okay,
We have both. The night before is called a Sangeet. Sometimes I get a live band. That has been very often this year. I've had them for the very least half my weddings. We've had a live band, DJ to kind of fill in when they're taking a break, but a live band for the night before, DJ definitely the day of, where we get live musicians that come and play along with the DJ, like a dole player, a drum set, a
yeah.
saxophone, violin for cocktail hour. Now that's been very popular this year where they want to play like Desi music and stuff, Bollywood music. That's been very popular for cocktail hour this year. So it's definitely a trend they're getting smaller, but they're putting more quality items in there for people.
Wow. Okay. Well, what else in particular do you want to share about Dream Events by Sonia? What in particular you think our listeners are interested in? I mean, I'm fascinated with love, and I'm a believer of love. I may not have had love, and you're with your childhood sweetheart, I guess. Well, your best friend, you said, right? At the age of, my goodness. When did you meet, by the way, your husband?
Oh, he's an ex now. We don't talk about him.
Oh
But I met
gosh.
him
Okay.
when I
Okay.
was younger.
Well, let me ask. I'm going to say about your wedding, right? From
Yeah.
now, from what you had to what you would want to have now. How has that changed?
Oh,
Like,
holy cow, a huge change. I would have a 20-person wedding on a beach and call it a day. I had a 300 and some person wedding when I got married, but it was mainly like family that my parents and his parents invited.
uh-huh.
Nobody we really know. And that's kind of been the trend when my daughter got married a few years ago. That is exactly what I told her.
Did you do her
I'm
wedding?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I
I
want to
wasn't
hear.
supposed to, but kind of happened. Jumped in last minute and took care of all the final details and then handed it off back to the planner. But like, I'm not doing this the day of for it. But when she got married, she was asking me like, who do you want to invite? I'm like, this isn't my wedding. This is yours. You invite the family and friends that you want to invite for. She's like, you don't want anybody here. I'm like, no, it's not my wedding. I want people that are here for you, that you have something to do with. We had a beautiful St. Pete's Beach wedding with about 60 people. It was perfect.
Well, are people trending towards destination weddings in the Indian community as well, or no?
Yes.
They
We're
are.
going to Italy. We're going to Spain.
Fantastic.
They were on a Mexico kick. Now it's Cabo, instead of Cancun, but they are definitely trending towards Europe now. At least doing the ceremony and something small there, and then coming back here to do a bigger reception.
And then people do like the day. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could.
People do like the day after thing too, right? Or the day before. How many days of like planning are you doing? Is it just a 1 day wedding, or are these like weekend weddings?
Depends on what we're doing, and what package, but they're typically at least a good 4 days. We start the first day. I don't know if you can see it, but I have Mandy on my hand.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
we do that on the first day, like for the family, immediate family. Then the next day we do like a ceremony. It's called a Grashanti. Then it's like followed, it's kind of like the pre-wedding ceremonies where we send them off before they get married. Then we have like the actual like pre-wedding party, which is a Sangeet that it's called, and that's like the festivities before the festivities. And then wedding starts pretty early in the morning, and then like my poor brides usually wake up about 4 a.m. to get hair and makeup done so that they're ready to go. But and then it's a full day on wedding day. I try to get them to nap at least 20 to 30 minutes before the second round of hair and makeup happens. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but a majority of them get that 20 minutes of power nap and then we start all over
Wow,
again.
this is a serious production. Again, I'm not thinking, again, I'm not in the Indian community, so I'm not realizing it's 4 days. You're planning not just 1 day, one night, what 4 days
4 days
of
from
different
starting from
locations, different,
home
and
to
I'm assuming guests are in hotels and the
yes,
transportation, you're
yes,
coordinating
yes, all
hair,
of it.
makeup. Oh
Yep.
my goodness. And
Sometimes I have different hair and makeup teams for different people.
yeah,
So my bride has one, the bridesmaids have another one, the family has another one for it. Then on top of that, all we're doing, the draping of the saris or,
yeah.
all of that other stuff. There's at the very least, I am dealing with at least a good 10 to 15 vendors and sometimes 3 to 4 venues. Not
Wow.
just all over the place. Sometimes
Now,
they're all in one.
how many people are on your trusted team?
Um, I have I have 3 planners in total, and then
Okay.
six in 3 planners, and then assistants that go with them.
Oh my goodness. Wow. This is fascinating. I'm so excited. I want to see. I don't know if you can, or maybe next time when we get together, I would love for you to be able to share your screen to see some of your work. We can pull it up and talk about it because these.
My Instagram has everything in there. My website has a touch and pieces of it, but my Instagram has a lot more of my work, along with reels, videos, and everything else. And it's my company name on Instagram. So if you look that up, you'll definitely see it.
All right. Well, let's see. What is Instagram? I'm going to pull it up.
Dream Events by Sonya.
Dream, oh, but I'm not logged in, so I can't share my screen. So it won't work on my half. But maybe next time we can see some of this
We'll
work.
have it ready.
That would be amazing. Well, in our last few minutes together, how did you want to leave off about the work you're doing? Clearly, you are well above, have way more experience. This is your niche. This is your life. This is your passion. And you can see by the smiles of the people in all these pictures that you're doing something right. And it gives you joy. It gives them joy, obviously, because this is the most special time of their lives. Just being that you're here. Also, you're also on the knot, right? You're in there as
Yes.
well, Wedding Wire.
Yes.
Great recommendations, great reviews. How did you want to leave off for us today?
I would love to at least have the opportunity to talk to whoever is planning a wedding and maybe guide them in the right direction, whether I am the fit for them or not. But at least give them some insight on what to do next, but would love to be a part of their, next event, big event. And we do, obviously I do weddings, but we do corporate events. We do other events as well.
Oh,
For it, but weddings has definitely been a niche for the last couple of years, but we do all sorts of events from galas to all sorts of stuff.
beautiful. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you here again. Dream Events by Sonia. And this work is just beautiful. And clearly, you are guided in that you're guiding everyone. And by the way, we mentioned briefly about your daughter's wedding. How did you do your daughter's wedding? It's got to be hard from your perspective, right? Because you're all used to planning. Did you get to enjoy yourself?
Yes, yes. At once I got some of the formalities out of the way, I was able to do it. For it could have been better. For it, but I enjoyed it. I got dinner done, and I'm like, okay, now I can sit and like have a party and really not have to worry about anything.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you again for being here again. Check her out on Instagram. Go to the website, reach out with any questions. And your one quote that you gave us in your notes, a great leader's courage to fulfill his vision comes from passion, not position.
Correct.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us. And
Thanks.
again, reach out, Dream Events by Sonya, spelled Sonya.com, or again, look her up on Instagram and reach out. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Looking forward to our next show. Thank you so much. And
right, see you.
God bless. Have an amazing day.
You too.
How
Bye.
many weddings do you have this weekend coming up? Or
3.
it's not just the weekend, though. Are these starting
No,
like on
it
Wednesday,
starts
Thursday,
Wednesday.
Friday?
Yeah, I have one that's starting tomorrow. Next
All
weekend I
right.
have 4. So yeah, it's okay. I love them.
Good.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.